Hi, welcome back guys, this is your friend, WTFW with another fiction. What if Deku the digital hero in Dual World? Now before starting, please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want more videos like this. Now let's get into the fanfic. Destruction. Ruins. Death. It's all that's left. Izuku, in his Aghanim form, gets up from the ground. His breathing is heavy. He's tired. One of his hands is stopping the bleeding on his chest. Izuku's gaze focuses on what's in front of him. Izuku looks back. He can see Shinso, Shoto, Melissa, and Kaminari on the ground behind him, totally defeated. There are other people as well. Izuku grunts at the pain of his wound, looks down at his fist full of blood. His blood. Izuku looks ahead. There is a gigantic Digimon, destroying everything in its path. Said Digimon is a 7-legged beast with one eye on each, and has an 8th eye on its head. There is a sword stuck in each of its legs, like Luciman Satan mode. It wears the crowns of the 7 deadly sins on its head. Izuku looks at his fist one more time, clenching it hard. Using what little strength he has left, Izuku goes and stands in front of the Digimon. The Digimon roars at him, while Izuku closes his eyes for a second. Izuku opens his eyes showing determination. Izuku takes out his D-scan. Ancient Spirit Evolution. Izuku screams and transforms into Suzunuman. Izuku summons Orochi as the Digimon roars at him again. They both look at each other and charge at each other, ready to continue fighting. Yeah, that's how things are now. But before seeing how it all ends, you should know what happened to get us here. Well, I guess I can tell you what happened. 1 year after Luciman's defeat. Hey, hurry up and bring them, one guy said to another who was carrying 2 cages. All good. The second guy puts the cages on the ground. Yes, with this, we already have everything, right? The first guy uncovers the cages and sees what they contain. They are 2 baby-level Digimon. Yes, with this, we meet the required amount. The guy gets up and opens the curtains behind them, revealing several more cages with baby-level Digimon inside. The client pays very well for this. So this is where you hide, huh? A voice said. The 2 guys turn to look in the direction of the voice and see a boy. Said boy has short undercut green hair, green eyes, and 4 diamond-shaped freckles on each cheek. Said boy is dressed in red tennis shoes, black pants, a green shirt, and a red jacket. Said jacket has the symbol of the digital fire element on the back. This boy is Izuku Midoriya, aka the digital hero, Agni. Age 18. Quirk? None. Digimon partner? None. He possesses the digital spirits of fire. Student from Ua High. Hero course class 3A. Izuku, after the defeat of Luciman, has changed. There is no longer any sign of that nervous and shy boy. Now he has matured. Physically, he has grown from being one of the shortest in his class to being among the tallest. He is still the leader of the chosen ones. Although it has been a long time since they have worked as a team as such, the others still consider him the leader and the strongest among them. Couldn't you choose a nicer place to do your things? Izuku asked sarcastically. Don't get involved in other people's business, kid, the first guy said, while transforming his hand into a sword. Be boss. I don't think it's good to try to confront the boy, the second guy said. Why? He's just a boy, the first guy said. You don't know who he is? He is. The other guy said, but Izuku interrupted him. Don't worry, I prefer to show you who I am, Izuku said as he rolled up the right sleeve of his jacket, thus revealing a device on his forearm. Opening the cover of the device reveals that it is a touch screen. D-Terminal, connected Aghanim appears on the screen of the device. Spirit Evolution. Izuku slides his ring and middle finger on the screen, and then extends his arm to the side, and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, Izuku's clothes were stored inside the D-Terminal. Izuku points the D-Terminal forward, and it projects a screen showing Aghanim. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers Izuku and transforms him into Aghanim. Then on his right shoulder, a different shoulder pad replaces the one he already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared, and instead of Izuku there was Aghanim. However, Aghanim was strange, different. Although Aghanim at first glance looks the same as always, now his suit under his armor, previously black, is now dark green. His eyes are now green, the same as Izuku's, and his hair, which previously reached his back, now it barely reaches his shoulders. His hair is still yellow, but the glow, previously red, is now green. Finally, the right shoulder pad was replaced with another gray one with the symbol of the Chosen Ones on it. The symbol of the Chosen Ones is a creation of their own. It is represented by the 6 symbols of the elements of each one. In the case of Izuku, the symbol of fire is in the center, and surrounding it in a circle are the other 5 ones, but smaller. And now is when you realize who I am, Izuku said with a smile. The Digital Hero. The Lost Legends Opening. Song. Boruto Opening 8 Baku. From the shadows, a seated woman appears. Kishibe. The place lights up and Kishibe smiles, evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. Nando Mobo Kirawa. As a flashback, the 6 Chosen Ones are seen fighting Lucimen during the First War. Yumnai Misererit. It is seen when the 6 Chosen Ones throw a large sphere of energy with their powers united at Lucimen. Atsui Iki wo Midashite Kikdasu no. As a flashback, it is now seen when Suzunuman shoots Lucimen Satan Moda beam from his weapon, Orachi. Dokomade. In the present day, Izuku, in his new Aghanim form, is seen charging at someone unseen. Ikruka. The rest of the Chosen Ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like Izuku, charge against someone unseen. Hate made Midacute. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who when she sees the Chosen Ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. Adarashai Sora Naitsugu. The 6 Chosen Ones are seen in a group, Izuku in the middle, on his right Melissa and Shoto, on his left Shinso, Kaminari and Toya. Kakugo wa Roman 2 Desuka. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne, while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Sudu, and behind her, there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. Kokoro Kirao no wa. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. Murai Dake. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic diggy egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets, accompanied by several Digimon. The new normal life. Kanju Urashite Roman 2 Jam. Izuku is in the center of the city. He is relaxed. Ikari wo ai naimazit. The breeze moves his hair, and Izuku looks up at the sky with a smile. Zeruka ikai janenda. Like Izuku, Kaminari, Shoto, Shinso, and Melissa are also in the center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. Kanten de Bokuro wa Ikitaru. They all talk among themselves, while Melissa looks ahead and smiles. Kari nai obereta sekaide. Toya is leaning against a wall, while memories of when he was Dabai flash through his head. Kimi wa jibun nai toikikaru. Toya clenches his fist, and then looks up with a determined expression. Hantu nai. Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the diggy egg is. Tanashi I know. Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. Myun ga zawam kuyo. The egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes, while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits, and you see Izuku and Kishibe, the first with a frown and the second with an evil smile. Nando mo. Izuku, in his new Aghanim form, charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokuro wa. Shinso, in his new Labaman form, also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kawashitaku naru no. Izuku and Shinsu attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. Mu Kueta Dechai na Yumwanai. Melissa, in her new Caseman form, and Kaminari, in his new Beetleman form, attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari, with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. Kano de Yumadasu. Shoto, in his new Paladorman form, attacks Kishibe, but she easily dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. Mono de Kekit. Toya, in his new Luiman form, attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. Adarashai Sora de Nate. Izuku gets up from the ground and attacks Kishibe with a fire punch, but she easily stops it with her hand. Kakugo wa Roman tu Desuka. Izuku frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Shota, a blue-haired girl, and Nezu appear in Nezu's office. Interestingly, an Iceman scatter mode is climbing on Aizawa, as if it were a scarf. Kokoro Kirao no wa. A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. Murai Dake. For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Sudu and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of Suzunuman. The digital hero. Lost Legends. Both guys stare at Izuku. The first guy with confusion, and the second with fear. Really? No reaction? Izuku asks the first guy. I do not care who you are. Die. The guy said as he attacked Izuku with his hand turned into a sword. Seriously. I wish you'd recognized me. Izuku said as he stopped the sword with his left hand without taking damage. Because you would make my job easier. Pyro punch. Izuku hits the guy with a strong fire punch, rendering him unconscious with just that blow. Izuku looks at the other guy. And now is when you give up, Izuku said. The guy quickly takes one of the cages and runs out of the building, so that a pair of wings sprout from his back and takes flight. Izuku follows him and points his right wrist at the guy, but sees something that makes him stop. I won't need to intervene, Izuku thought as he turns around and goes towards the Digimon cages, but not without first making sure that the first guy is unconscious. The second guy sees how Izuku turns around and thinks he let him go. I can't believe it. He let me go. But then he receives a kick in the face from someone else. Izuku leaves the building dragging the guy he knocked out. At that moment, the Digital Police arrive. Digital Police. Organization that was founded after some Digimon began to live in the human world. They are in charge of supervising crimes related to Digimon and acting accordingly. Is made up of humans and Digimon. Just in time, gentlemen. There are several cages with Digimon trapped inside, Izuku said. Understood, Agni. The chief said. We will ensure that they return to the digital world safely. Izuku nods at the moment of also handing over the criminal to the authorities. It is that moment. Next to him, Rukyu lands. Good job. Every day you seem more professional than me, Rukyu said. Ruko Tatsuma aka Rukyu. After the defeat of Luciman, Izuku continued working under Rukyu. Thanks to her participation in both wars, Rukyu climbed quite a few places in the top, now being Japan's number 5 hero. Rukyu's quirk has also improved. Now she is able to do a partial transformation, remaining human size, but adopting dragon aspects, such as a tail, wings, scales, and claws. Her right arm is now a prosthetic one, which can grow to adjust to her dragon form. Izuku was going to answer. But then someone lands next to him, Rukyu, and he turned to look at her. Melissa was the one who landed, carrying the cage with the Digimon in her hand and the unconscious criminal in the other. Melissa is in her caveman form, but like Izuku, this form is different than it used to be. The first thing to notice is that under her clothes, she now has a black full body suit, now no longer leaving her skin exposed. On the other hand, her hair is now blonde and stylized to look more like Melissa's. Finally, her right shoulder pad is the same one that Izuku has, only that Melissa has the symbol of the wind element in the center surrounded by the other five. Melissa hands the cage and the criminal over to the authorities and then heads to Izuku and Rukyu. So, this is it, right? She asked. At the moment, we managed to find the meeting point, but we still have no idea who the client is. Rukyu said. I don't think these guys know anything. Even they had no idea who their employer was. Izuku said. Well, at least we managed to capture a couple more criminals. Melissa said. Exactly. Good job, both of you. Rukyu said. This is all for today. You can return to Yua. Izuku and Melissa nod and return to their human form. Another day at the office, I guess, Melissa said. Melissa Shield aka the Wind Hero, Sylph. Age 18. Quirk? None. Digimon partner? None. She possesses the digital spirits of wind. Student from Yua High. Hero Course Class 3A. Like Izuku, Melissa's appearance has also changed. Melissa has become the definition of a beautiful woman. She has grown taller. Although she is no longer taller than Izuku, she is the second tallest girl in her class. Only below Momo, her hair, which previously reached her hips, is now shorter, barely reaching her elbows, and her style is now straight instead of wavy. Melissa's clothes have also changed. She now wears red boots, a pair of black stockings that reach above her knees, a black skirt, and a white t-shirt. Over the t-shirt, she has a jacket similar to Izuku's. Only hers is purple, and in the back has the symbol of the digital element of wind. And to avoid perverts, she has shorts under her skirt. Okay, shall we go? Izuku asks Melissa as he extends his hand to her. Melissa smiles and shakes her head, and then begins to walk. Let's go, Romeo, she said. Izuku smiles and quickly goes to his side, and they both go in the direction of the Rukyu agency to change into their school uniform and then return to Yua. 3 dorms. The dorms are one of the things that have changed. Although the building remains the same, it now has a small parking lot next to it. This is because some of the class already have a vehicle. Speaking of vehicles, a motorcycle parks in the parking lot. It is Izuku's motorcycle, which was a gift from his mother. Izuku drives while having Melissa sitting behind him. After parking, they both continue on their way to the building. But halfway there, they cross paths with someone they know. Hey, it's Hitoshi, Izuku said. Hitoshi Shinso, another of the chosen ones, turns around and smiles when he sees his teammates and friends. Hi. Shinso waves at them. Hitoshi Shinso aka the Light Hero, Wolf. Age 18. Quirk. Brainwashing formerly. Digimon partner. None. He possesses the digital spirits of light. Student from Yua High. Hero Course Class 3A. Shinso, unlike Izuku and Melissa, has not changed much in terms of appearance. Besides growing in height, he remains practically the same as a year ago, except that his facial expression no longer denotes tiredness like before. You're back, how was it? Shinso asked. More of the same, more people trying to sell Digimon, Izuku said. Oh really? You won't believe it, but me too, Shinso said. How is it possible? There are more and more people trying to sell Digimon despite all the existing security, Melissa said. And more importantly, who are the groups behind this? I think it's not some groups, Izuku said. I think it's only one person, or at least only one group. What makes you think that? Melissa asked. I'm not saying it. Nezu says it, Izuku said. I will explain it to when we are with Shoto and Denki. It would be better to explain it to everyone. Maybe Shoto can contact Toya if he is not busy. All right, then let's not waste time, Shinso said. Let's get inside. Without further ado, the trio continues walking until they enter the dorms. When Izuku entered the common room, he almost tripped because someone passed between his legs. Although rather, instead of someone, it was a pair of… Oh, I'm sorry. They were a pair of Digimon. The first one is a light pink humanoid Digimon with gray eyes. Its fingers are a gradient of dark violet to lime green in color. Its outfit consists of a black sleeveless leotard with magenta and black striped leggings that go all the way to her feet. It also wears a medium blue jellyfish-like hat that has countless lime green tipped tentacles protruding from it, and a pink target-like symbol on the front. This Digimon is a Jellimon. The other is a blue insectoid Digimon, green eyes, a horn on its forehead, and a yellow scarf on its neck. This Digimon is a Cockabutterman. Don't worry, Izuku said. And now you might wonder, why are there Digimon in the dorms? Well, after the development of the Digimon Tamer project, some UA students were selected to have a Digimon partner. Izuku smiles. Don't worry, go on with your thing, he said. Jellyman and Cockabutterman smile and head to the common room of the dorms, going with their human partners. Jellyman climbs on top of the head of a pink-skinned girl, Mina Ashido. Mina Ashido aka Pinky. Age 18. Quirk, Acid. Digimon partner, Jellyman. Student from UA High. Hero Course Class 3A. For his part, Cockabutterman climbs onto the shoulder of a girl with short purple hair, Kyoka Gyro. Kyoka Gyro aka Earphone Jack. Age 18. Quirk, Earphone Jack. Digimon partner, Cockabutterman. Student from UA High. Hero Course Class 3A. Hey, Hitoshi-kun, Deku-kun, Melissa-chan, you're back. A voice said. The three turn to look and are greeted by their classmate, Ochako Yororaka, who is being accompanied by her Digimon partner, Lunaman. Ochako Yororaka aka Uravity. Age 18. Quirk, Zero Gravity. Digimon partner, Lunaman. Student from UA High. Hero Course Class 3A. Hitoshi smiles and hugs Uraraka, and then everyone goes to sit on the couches with the others. So you're back. How did it go? Kyoka asked. You know, more problems with Digimon dealers, Izuku said. By the way, are Shoto and Denki back? Nope, Mina said. They are still out. Oh well, I guess they're still busy, Izuku said. In that case, we will have to wait. I see they're back, Ida said as he is accompanied by an anthropomorphic blue dog like Digimon who has a red ribbon tied around his head covering some sort of yellow mark. He wears a pair of boxing gloves. Tenya Ida aka Ingenium. Age 18. Quirk, Engine. Digimon partner, Gyomon. Student from UA High. Hero Course Class 3A. Tenya, Gyomon, how are you? Melissa asked. We are fine, thanks for asking. How was it for you? Ida said. Nothing spectacular. We're just waiting for Shoto and Denki. I think we found a clue to stop the Digimon dealers, Izuku said. I see. I guess Shoto and Denki are still out, Ida said. You know, when duty calls, Izuku said. I wonder what they are doing right now. Meanwhile, on the other side, Shoto, accompanied by Endeavor and Agumon, are seeing a warehouse in the distance that seems abandoned. Is this the place? Shoto asks, looking at the warehouse in the distance. According to reports, yes, Endeavor said. What are we waiting for? Let's do it, Agumon said. Is this the place? Shoto asks, looking at the warehouse in the distance. Like the others, Shoto has changed. His hair has grown, now reaching his shoulders, although he usually has it tied in a ponytail. His suit is also different. He is dressed in black boots, black pants, a red shirt, and a white jacket. Said jacket has the symbol of the digital ice element on the back. On his right arm, he has his D terminal. Shoto Todoroki Aka Frost. Age 18. Quirk. Absolute Zero formerly. Digimon partner. None. He possesses the digital spirits of ice. Student from UA High. Hero Course Class 3A. According to reports, yes. Endeavor said. Inji Todoroki aka Endeavor. Age 47. Quirk. Hellflame. Digimon partner. Agumon. After the defeat of Lusamon, Endeavor continued with his position as Japan's #1 hero. But now he has his Digimon partner, Agumon, who is now part of Endeavor's image. What are we waiting for? Let's do it, Agumon said. Don't worry, Agumon. You already know how this is. Let's not rush. Endeavor said. They may be simple thugs, but we don't have to rush. Let's approach them quietly. Understood. Agumon said, climbing onto Endeavor's shoulder. Roger that. Shoto said, while opening the cover of the D-terminal. D-terminal connected. Palindromin appears on the screen of the device. Spirit evolution. Shoto slides his ring and middle finger on the screen, and then extends his arm to the side, and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, Shoto's clothes were stored inside the D-terminal. Shoto points the D-terminal forward, and it projects a screen showing Palindromin. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers Shoto and transforms him into Palindromin. Then on his right shoulder, a different shoulder pad replaces the one he already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared, and instead of Shoto there was Palindromin. However, Palindromin, as the other human spirits, was strange, different. Of all of them, Palindromin is the one that had the most radical change. He now has a more humanoid appearance. Although he is still a dragon, his fur is now half white and half red. His right eye is gray, while the left is blue. Lastly, his height is also greater, being the same height as Agumon. Like the other chosen ones, his right shoulder pad is different, having the symbol of the chosen ones on it. But his has the symbol of ice in the center, being surrounded by the other 5. I'm ready, Shoto said. A shame Toya couldn't join us. He and Burnin are taking care of business on the other side of the country, Endeavor said. So for now it's us. Come on, let's get closer. Without further ado, father and son begin to fly in the direction of the warehouse. The Digital Hero. The Lost Legends opening. Song. Boruto opening 8 Baku. From the shadows, a seated woman appears, Kishibe. The place lights up and Kishibe smiles, evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. Nando mo Bokura wa. As a flashback, the 6 chosen ones are seen fighting Lusamon during the First War. Yung Nai Misererit. It is seen when the 6 chosen ones throw a large sphere of energy with their powers united at Lusamon. Atsui Iki wo Midashite Kakedasu no. As a flashback, it is now seen when Suzunuman shoots Lusamon's Satan Moda beam from his weapon, Orachi. Doko made. In the present day, Izuku, in his new Agunimonk form, is seen charging at someone unseen. Ikuru Ka. The rest of the chosen ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like Izuku, charge against someone unseen. Hate made Midacute. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who when she sees the chosen ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. Adarashai Sora Naitsugu. The 6 chosen ones are seen in a group, Izuku in the middle, on his right Melissa and Shoto, on his left Shinso, Kaminari and Toya. Kakugo wa Roman 2 Desu ka. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Sudu, and behind her, there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. Kokoro Kirao no wa. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. Murai Dake. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic diggy egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets, accompanied by several Digimon. The new normal life. Kanji Urashite Roman Tujan. Izuku is in the center of the city. He is relaxed. Ikari wo ai naimazit. The breeze moves his hair, and Izuku looks up at the sky with a smile. Zero ka ikai janenda. Like Izuku, Kaminari, Shoto, Shinso, and Melissa are also in the center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. Konten de Bokura wa Ikitaru. They all talk among themselves while Melissa looks ahead and smiles. Kati nai oberetta seikaide. Toya is leaning against a wall while memories of when he was Dabai flash through his head. Kimi wa jiba nai toikakaru. Toya clenches his fist and then looks up with a determined expression. Hantunai. Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the Digi egg is. Tanashi I know. Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. Myun ga zawankuyo. The egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes, while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits, and you see Izuku and Kishibe. The first with a frown, and the second with an evil smile. Nando Mo. Izuku, in his new Akinaman form, charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokura wa. Shinso, in his new Lobaman form, also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kawashitaku Naru no. Izuku and Shinsu attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. Mu Kawaita Deichai Nai Yumwanai. Melissa, in her new Kaisman form, and Kaminari, in his new Beetleman form, attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. Kano de Yumadasa. Shoto, in his new Paladroman form, attacks Kishibe, but she easily dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. Mono de Kekit. Toya, in his new Luiman form, attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. Adarashai Sora Dinake. Izuku gets up from the ground and attacks Kishibe with a fire punch, but she easily stops it with her hand. Kakugo wa Roman tu Desuka. Izuku frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Shota, a blue-haired girl, and Nezu appear in Nezu's office. Interestingly, an Iceman scatter mode is climbing on Aizawa as if it were a scarf. Kokoro Kiro no wa. A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. Murai Dake. For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Sudu and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of Suzunuman. The digital hero. Lost Legends. Shoto and Endeavorland near the warehouse silently. Okay, we're here. Now what? Shoto asked. Now is when we act hastily. Endeavor said, and then destroyed the wall of the warehouse with a burst of fire. All right, the heroes have arrived. Inside the warehouse, there are a total of 3 people and 2 Digimon who stare at Endeavor. After a few seconds of silence, 2 of these people take out a Digivide and make the 2 Digimon evolve. The Digimon becomes a Greymon Blue and an Airdramon. They're hackers, Shoto said. I can tell. Go Agumon. Endeavor said, taking his D-Buster and making Agumon Digivolve. Agumon Digivolve too. Agumon digivolves into Geogrimon. Geogrimon. Both Greymon collide and begin to struggle. Meanwhile, Shoto faces off against the Airdramon. 3 against 1. I like those odds. Endeavor said as he faced the 3 humans. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, a group of people finish loading a truck with Digimon cages. All right, it's ready. Go ahead. one of them said as he climbed into the passenger seat. "Take me to the place indicated on the map." "Yes, sir," the other guy said as the doors of the place open. Once open, the truck leaves. "This is too easy. I told you." At that point, the driver notices that there is something on the road. Or rather, someone. "I'm sorry, but this is where you end up," Denki said. Denki Kaminari Ake Chargeable. Age 18. Quirk. Electrification formerly. Digimon partner. None. He possesses the digital spirits of thunder. Student from Ua High. Hero Course Class 3A. Denki, like the others, has changed physically. He has grown in height. His hair is now shorter. Like the other chosen ones, his suit has changed. He is dressed in black boots, black pants, a blue shirt, and a yellow jacket. Said jacket has the symbol of the digital thunder element on the back. "Who is that?" the driver asked. "Who cares? Run over him," the other guy said. Seeing that the truck doesn't stop, Kaminari smiles and then opens the cover of the D terminal. D terminal connected. Beetleman appears on the screen of the device. Spirit evolution. Denki slides his ring and middle finger on the screen and then extends his arm to the side and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, Denki's clothes were stored inside the D terminal. Denki points the D terminal forward and it projects a screen showing Beetleman. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers Denki and transforms him into Beetleman. Then on his left shoulder, a different shoulder pad replaces the one he already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared, and instead of Denki there was Beetleman. However, Beetleman, as the other human spirits, was different. Although Beetleman at first glance appears unchanged, now his eyes are yellow. His helmet no longer covers his entire head. Now yellow hair with a black lightning-shaped mark emerges from above, resembling Denki's hair in both color and color. In addition to that, on his wrists he no longer has the plus and symbols since they were replaced by lightning symbols. Finally, throughout his armor, there are several white lightning patterns throughout the armor. Like his friends, his left shoulder pad is different, having the symbol of the chosen ones on it. But his has the symbol of thunder in the center, being surrounded by the other 5. "What the driver didn't finish speaking as Denki easily stopped the truck with his hands. "I'm sorry, but you're not going anywhere," Denki said. At that, the driver and co-pilot get out of the truck and try to attack Denki. But then 2 people appear and stop the attacks. "Don't worry, don't make this more difficult," Fat Gum said, catching the driver in his body fat. Teishiro Toyomitsu aka Fat Gum. Age 30. Quirk, fat absorption. Digimon partner, none. Following the defeat of Luciman and Fat Gum's participation in both wars, Fat Gum has enjoyed a large increase in popularity, finally being now Japan's number 10 hero. "Give up now and save us trouble," Kirishima said, while tackling the co-pilot. Ijiro Kirishika aka Red Riot. Age 18. Quirk, hardening. Digimon partner, none. Hero Course Class 3A. "We have them. Chargeable, take care of the truck's charge," Fat Gum said. "Right," Denki said, heading to the back of the truck. But when he opens the door, he is greeted by a punch that makes him retreat. From the back of the truck comes a guy with 4 arms covered in diamonds. "What's going on here?" the guy said. "It seems we have a little problem." "Yes, but it will be resolved soon," Denki said, attacking the guy with a punch. But the guy covers himself with his arms. Back with Endeavor, the hero dodges the attack of one of the 3 guys, then attacks another that tried to attack him with a fireball, sending him flying. "Come on. Is this all you can do?" Endeavor said as he kicks the 3rd guy. Meanwhile, Geogrimmon and Greymon Blue continue to struggle. "Why are you helping these hackers?" Geogrimmon asked. "Don't you see that they are just using you as a tool?" However, Greymon Blue does not respond. He just roars. Geogrimmon quickly grabs Greymon and throws him to the ground. It seems that you were reduced to a feral state, Geogriman said. Quickly, Greymon Blue gets up and charges at Geogriman. Mega Flame, quickly, Geogriman attacks by shooting a fireball from his mouth, which hits Greymon Blue. Horn Impassal. He then impales Greymon Blue against the building with his horns. Greymon Blue lets out one last roar before exploding into data. On the other hand, Erdreman begins to spin in the air to try to attack Shoto, but he easily dodges him. His attacks are not coordinated. He only attacks to attack. He does not think about how to attack. Shoto thought as he dodged another attack from Erdreman, then covered his claws with ice. Ice Claws. Erdreman roars upon receiving the attack, remaining motionless in the air, which Shoto takes advantage of. To finish, Precipitation Breath. Shoto fires an ice beam from his mouth which freezes Erdreman. Ice Claws. After attacking it with his ice claws, Erdreman explodes into data. Finally, Endeavor defeats the third guy with a fire punch. With this, we finish, Endeavor said. Let's pick up these guys and take them to the police. Hackers. Lately their numbers have increased, Shoto said. I don't like what they do to my kind, Agumon said already after having returned to his Agumon form. That wild state I always see when we face these guys. Don't worry, we'll stop them, Shoto said. Right, Agumon said. You can talk later. Now help me, Endeavor said as he carries two of the guys. Agumon climbs onto Endeavor's shoulder while Shoto carries the third guy. Without further ado, the two fly away from the place. Back with Denki, he is defending himself from the guy's attacks. Die, the guy said as he attacks Denki with several punches. Denki doesn't defend himself against the blows. Okay, I'm bored now. Suddenly, Denki catches the guy's fist and begins to surround his free fist with electricity. You've had your fun. Now let's get this over with. Thunder Fist. Denki punches the guy in the face and then grabs him in his arms. Goodbye, Punishment Shock. Denki electrocutes the guy for a few seconds and then stops and the guy falls to the ground unconscious. You really like drama, Fat Gum said as he arrives next to Denki. It's to add emotion to things, Denki said. Anyway, let's take these cages down and free the Digimon, Fat Gum said. I'm already on it, Kirishima said as he took several cages out of the truck. Chargebolt helps Red Riot. I'll call the digital police, Fat Gum said. Right, Kaminari said. After a few minutes, the digital police arrived and the Digimon were rescued. Good job, Riot, Chargebolt, Fat Gum said. Thanks. I don't like this at all. I can't believe there are people doing these things, Kirishima said. At that moment, one of the rescued Digimon approached Kirishima. Said Digimon is a humanoid Digimon with a body made of gray rocks. It has yellow eyes and 2 rocks on its head that resemble bear ears. It has 3 fingers on each hand and 3 toes on each foot. Thank you very much for rescuing us, the Digimon said to Kirishima. Do not worry, friend. That's what heroes are for, Kirishima said. You're so cool. I would like to go with you, the Digimon said. This takes Kirishima by surprise. And me? He said. Wow. Thank you very much. The truth is I would love for you to come with me. Then it's decided. I will be your Digimon partner, the Digimon said. I'm Gotsuman, by the way. What? Kirishima said. Cool. Congratulations, bro. It looks like you now have a Digimon partner, Denki said after returning to his human form. Well, the truth is that I was a little jealous of Ashido, Gyro, Uraraka, and Ida, Kirishima said. Very good. I accept you as a partner. Get ready because we will become very strong together. Yes, Gotsuman said, high-fiving Kirishima, who had a Digivice appear on his belt. All right, Kirishima said. 3 dorms. After another day dealing with hackers, Shoto finally returns to the dorms. On his way, he crosses paths with Denki and Kirishima. Denki, Ijiro, I see you're back too. Just then, Shoto notices Gotsuman next to Kirishima. And it's Gotsuman, my new Digimon partner, Kirishima said. Oh, so you managed to become a partner with a Digimon. That seems good to me, Shoto said. Yes, now we have to tell others, Denki said. And then the three of them enter the dorms. We are back, Denki said, opening the door. Shoto and Kirishima enter next to him. And we have a new member for the class. Hey, Izuku said, greeting. Next to him, there were also other classmates. Among them Mina, who hugged Shoto when he arrived. What do you mean by a new member? Well, Denki said, and then looked at Kirishima. Kirishima smiles, and then steps away to reveal Gotsuman. I present to you Gotsuman, my Digimon partner, he said. Another Digimon. A new member of the family, Jelliman said as she, along with Lunaman and Kakabutariman, approached Gotsuman. Welcome. You will love living here? Yes, these people are very kind, and we have the chosen ones who defeated Lusaman living with us, Lunaman said. Just then Gaoman and Ida approach. Welcome, Gotsuman. From now on you are part of our family, Gaoman said. I'm glad that another of us has a Digimon partner, but I must remind you that it is a very big responsibility, Ida said. Don't worry, Tenya. I'm ready, Kirishima said. Gotsuman and I will form an incredible team like you. I'm glad to hear that, and I'm also happy that another Digimon is joining us, Izuku said. Mina, Ochako, Tenya, and Kyoka may have more time with their Digimon partners, but I'm sure you'll do well. Thanks, bro, Kirishima said. And for you, Gotsuman, Izuku said, crouching down to Gotsuman's height. As leader and representative of the chosen ones as well as class president, I welcome you to Class 3A. Thanks, Gotsuman said. So, new member, huh? Gyro said, approaching Denki. What? Not even a welcome kiss? Denki jokingly asked to his girlfriend. Gyro just rolls her eyes. Now that we've finished this matter. Denki, Shoto, we were waiting for you, Izuku said. What is it? Shoto asked. Nezu wants to talk to us. I was hoping you could contact Toya too. Before Izuku could finish speaking, the D terminals began to ring. It seems I'm late in telling you. Nezu needs us. We haven't even arrived, and we already have to leave again, Denki said. Well, that's what it's like to be a chosen one, Izuku said. Come on, let's change into our suits and go see what Nezu needs. What would Nezu want? Kaminari said. Izuku, you know what Nezu wants to talk about, right? Shinso asked, like the others. Shinso is dressed in his suit, which consists of purple boots, black pants, a purple shirt, and a light blue jacket. Said jacket has the symbol of the digital light element on the back. More or less, I know it has to do with Digimon trafficking, Izuku said. I think he has a clue to find the main client behind this. Do you have any idea who could be behind it? Shoto asked. Not really, Izuku said. It can be anyone. What I'm most interested in knowing is why this person or group needs so many Digimon, Melissa said. Obviously, it is important to know who is behind all this. But aren't you curious to know what all this is for? Now that you mention it, it quote intriguing, Shinso said. Well, soon, we will know more about all this. We have arrived, Izuku said, opening the door to the principal's office. In the middle of the room, which has been expanded from what it was before, is Nezu. Now without the need to camouflage himself anymore, sitting at his desk while looking at something on his computer. Hearing the door open, Nezu smiles as he sees the chosen ones enter. Hello, chosen ones, he said. Nezu, you wanted to see us, don't you? Izuku asked. The Digital Hero, The Lost Legends opening. Song, Boruto opening 8 Baku. From the shadows, a seated woman appears, Ri Kishai. The place lights up and Kishibe smiles, evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. Nando mo Bokira wa. As a flashback, the 6 chosen ones are seen fighting Lucimen during the First War. Yum nai misererit. It is seen when the 6 chosen ones throw a large sphere of energy with their powers united at Lucimen. Atsui iki wo midashite kakedasu no. As a flashback, it is now seen when Suzunuman shoots Lucimen Satan Moda beam from his weapon, Orachi. Doko made. In the present day, Izuku, in his new Aguni monk form, is seen charging at someone unseen. Ikruka. The rest of the chosen ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like Izuku, charge against someone unseen. Hate made Midakute. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who when she sees the chosen ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. Adarashai Sora Naitsugu. The 6 chosen ones are seen in a group, Izuku in the middle, on his right Melissa and Shoto, on his left Shinso, Kaminari and Toya. Kakugo wa Roman 2 Desuka. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne, while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Sudu, and behind her, there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. Kokoro Kirao no wa. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. Murai Dake. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic Digi egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets, accompanied by several Digimon. The new normal life. Kanju Urashite Roman 2 Jan. Izuku is in the center of the city. He is relaxed. Ikari wo ai naimazit. The breeze moves his hair, and Izuku looks up at the sky with a smile. Zero ka ikai janenda. Like Izuku, Kaminari, Shoto, Shinso, and Melissa are also in the center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. Kanten de Bokiro wa Ikateru. They all talk among themselves, while Melissa looks ahead and smiles. Kati nai obereta sekaide. Toya is leaning against a wall, while memories of when he was Dabai flash through his head. Kimi wa jibun nai toikakuru. Toya clenches his fist, and then looks up with a determined expression. Hantunai. Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the Digi egg is. Tanishi no. Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. Myun ga zawan kuyo. The egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes, while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits, and you see Izuku and Kishibe, the first with a frown, and the second with an evil smile. Nando mo. Izuku, in his new Agunimin form, charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokira wa. Shinso, in his new Lobeman form, also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kawashitaku naru no. Izuku and Shinsu attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. Mu Kawaita Daichai na Yumonai. Melissa, in her new Caseman form, and Kaminari, in his new Beetleman form, attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. Kano de Yumadasu. Shoto, in his new Paladroman form, attacks Kishibe, but she easily dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. Mono de Kakit. Toya, in his new Luiman form, attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. Adarashai Sora de Nake. Izuku gets up from the ground and attacks Kishibe with a fire punch, but she easily stops it with her hand. Kakugo wa Roman 2 Desuka. Izuku frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Shota, a blue-haired girl, and Nezu appear in Nezu's office. Interestingly, an Iceman scatter mode is climbing on Aizawa, as if it were a scarf. Kokoro Kiro no wa. A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. Murai Dake. For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Sudu and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of Suzunuman, the digital hero. Lost Legends. Nezu looks at the chosen ones in front of him and smiles. "Well, of course," he said. "I know you just got back, but this information is promising." Izuku said, "It's about the Digimon trafficking network." Shinso said, "Yes, but before. Todoroki-kun, do you think Toya could join us for this?" Nezu asked. "I'll try," Shoto said, and then took out his phone and dialed his brother. "In the meantime, tell me, what do you think of the new D terminals?" Nezu asked. "They are very useful," Izuku said. "Yes, thanks to Kamishiro now you don't need to carry your D scan everywhere. The D terminal connects to it through digital waves, so no matter where you are, you can always transform," Nezu said. "Speaking of transformations, do you have any idea why our human spirits look different?" Denki asked. "I have a theory," Nezu said, "and it has to do with how long you have been using them." Melissa said. "Are you suggesting that our prolonged use of human spirits caused them to alter their appearance?" "Yes, after the defeat of Luciman, you have not had the need to use your other spirits. There have been rare occasions when you have used the beast spirits, but mainly you have only used the human spirits," Nezu said. "It's true. Since Luciman was defeated, I don't remember using Alderman again, let alone Kaisergrimmon or Suzunuman," Izuku said. "Same here," Shinso said. "I believe that the new appearance of your human spirits is a combination of them and you. You have stopped seeing them as extra powers and now see them as part of you. Therefore, they have adapted to look more like you," Nezu said. "Makes sense. I guess that explains that too." Izuku snaps his fingers and a small flame appears in his hand. The flame is small and would only work as a torch. "Wow, that's new," Denki said. "Since when can you do that?" Shinso asked. "Since this morning. That's why I waited to meet on Nezu to show it," Izuku said. "If Nezu's theory is true, then that means we may gain some aspects of our transformations," Melissa said. "In Izuku's case, he obtained the ability to control fire." "That's exactly what I was thinking," Nezu said. "Well, for now I can only do this. But maybe in the future I can use it to fight without transforming," Izuku said. "Cool," Denki said. "Perfect. Now, Todoroki-kun, what was your brother's response?" Nezu asked. "He is still working, but he has time if the meeting is quick," Shoto said. "He will connect through the holotransmitter." "Perfect," Nezu said, pressing some buttons, and suddenly a machine on the wall turned on and projected Toya's hologram. Nezu said, pressing some buttons, and suddenly a machine on the wall turned on and projected Toya's hologram. Toya, like the others, has a suit. Although similar to that of the other chosen ones, his is somewhat different. Toya wears a white t-shirt, black pants, black boots, a black belt with the head of a golden sphinx as a buckle, and a purple leather trench coat. Said trench coat has the symbol of digital darkness on the back. Unlike the other chosen ones, he has his D terminal on his left arm instead of the right. So, what is it? Toya asked. "We have information about Digimon traffic," Nezu said. "I think I have the location of one of their main bases. I see. That's good, but make it quick. There are still matters to resolve here and Burnin is yelling at me to hurry up." "I'll do it quickly," Nezu said, and then pressed a button and showed a hologram of a 3D map. A few days ago, I received an anonymous email that gave me an address. Anonymous? Are we sure we can trust that? Shinso asked. Don't worry. I have confirmed that the source is legitimate and safe, Nezu said. Now, when going to that address, we came across a small building. We looked for more about it, and it is listed as a private building, however. When doing scans, we detected a large source of digital energy in that place. Did you just recently detect it? Don't you have scanning equipment to scan for suspicious digital activity? Shoto asked. The place probably has some kind of inhibitor that allows it to go unnoticed by large-scale scans, Nezu said. What did you find? Izuku asked. We did not want to risk an approach without you, Nezu said. But now you are here. So you're saying that what we're going to do is go investigate that place? Izuku asked. Right. I'll give you the coordinates, and you'll do what you do best. Take down bad guys, Nezu said. Understood, Izuku said. I guess we won't be counting on you, Toya. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know it's my duty to help with things like this. But if I leave here, we understand. Don't worry. I just want you to be aware of the situation. Any discovery, we will let you know, Nezu said. Understood. All right. If that's all, I'm leaving. Good luck, guys. Night Lion out, Toya said, and then disconnected. All right, we have our mission. It's time to go, Izuku said, and then received the coordinates in his D terminal. Coordinates received. Let's move. Without further ado, the five leave for the given location. The night is calm and silent, but that silence is interrupted by a motorcycle and a car. Izuku and Melissa are riding on the motorcycle. Izuku is driving while Melissa is the co-pilot. Meanwhile, in the car are Shoto, who owns the car and is driving, Shinso in the co-pilot seat, and Denki in the rear seats. How much left? Shoto asks through the earpiece. We are close, Izuku said. We will park nearby and walk the rest of the way. We don't want to attract attention with the sound of the engines. Understood, Shoto said. Man, this place is pretty isolated from the rest of the city. What are these people up to? Denki said. That's what we'll find out, Izuku said. Why do these kind of people always choose such ugly places for their operations? Melissa said. Why do these types of people always choose such ugly places for their operations? Shinso said. I know. It's so typical and obvious that I don't know why no one investigates these places, Melissa said. That's actually a good point, Denki said. We're close. Let's park here, Izuku said as he turns into an alley and parks in it. Shoto parks outside the alley. The five begin their way to their destination. After walking for a few minutes, they arrive at what looks like a warehouse. So, this is the place, Denki said. Yes, Izuku said as he uses his D terminal to scan the place. Nezu was right. There is a large amount of digital energy in this place. It seems to be gathering in the center of the building. It's a lot of energy. I have a bad feeling, Shinso said. Then we have to stop them, Izuku said. Melissa, Hitoshi, go to the right. Shoto, Denki, you go to the left. Try to find a way to enter without attracting attention. I will search this area. What exactly are we looking for? Denki asked. Alternate entrances other than the main one, Izuku said. We have to try to be stealthier. We don't want to repeat what happened in Kansai. Right, Denki said. All right, move out, Izuku ordered, and the five of them started to move. Melissa and Shinso head to the right of the building, Denki and Shoto to the left. Meanwhile, Izuku goes down the small hill to head towards the building. Izuku uses his D terminal again to detect digital energies. It's too much energy. I have to get in no matter what, Izuku thought as he looked around until he noticed a hatch for the ventilation system. Bingo. With ease, Izuku climbs the wall and opens the ventilation hatch and enters. All right, let's go where this takes us. Izuku continues his way, crawling through the ventilation as quietly as possible. After a couple of minutes, Izuku's D-terminal begins to ring slightly. Yes, he asked. Asterisk Izuku. We found the back entrance, Shinso said from the D-terminal's communicator. Is there any guard? Izuku asked. Asterisk, not for the moment, Shinso said. Asterisk, we will proceed with caution. Understood, Izuku said. Asterisk Izuku, we found the main entrance, Shoto said from the communicator. Are there any guards? Izuku asked. Asterisk yes, but there is something interesting, Shoto said. Asterisk Denki had a hunch, and we scanned the guards. They're Digimon in disguise. Digimon? Izuku wondered. That changes things. Asterisk, what do we do? Shoto asked. Keep a low profile and try to find another entrance, Izuku said. Asterisk understood. Asterisk Shoto said. All right, I have to keep moving, Izuku said as he continues to move. After more minutes of crawling, Izuku reaches another trapdoor through which he can see what is in the other side. On the other side, there is a strange machine connected to another. In the first machine, there is a sword inside a tube. On the other hand, the second machine has several straps to keep someone, or something, in place. Izuku focuses his attention on the sword in the tube. It somehow felt familiar. The sword is a sword with two blades on one side, and its handle is golden. However, the most interesting thing is that the sword has 4 wings, 2 on the handle and 2 on the pommel. But the interesting thing is that the 2 right wings, they are angelic and white, and the 2 black ones are demonic and black. It looks familiar, but I don't know why, Izuku said, and then took out his D-terminal and scanned the sword. This is the center of energy. All the energy converges on this sword. What are they up to? Asterisk Izuku. We have problems, Shinso said. What is it? Asterisk guards. We have many guards, and we can't advance, Shinso said. I see. Shoto, Denki, did you manage to get in? Asterisk no, not yet, Shoto said. All right, leave that. Go to the main entrance and cause a distraction, Izuku said. With Shoto and Denki. Understood, Shoto said. All right, you heard him, come on. All right, Denki said. Hey, they're not, the other one said. Oh yes, yes we are. Ready, Denki? Shoto asked. Evolution. They both shout using their D-terminals to transform into Paladramon and Beetleman. SH*T, the chosen ones, one of the guards said. Quick, sound the alarm. One of the 2 guards enters the building, while the other leaves his human disguise to reveal his Digimon appearance and attempt to attack Shoto. And you already know, I don't name which Digimon appear unless they are relevant. Shoto easily dodges the Digimon's attack, so that Denki then hits him and sends him flying. And now is when the rest come, Denki said. And just as Denki said, several Digimon come out to face them. Let's get this over with, Shoto said. With Hitoshi and Melissa. We have enemies, a guard arrived and said. You stay here, you come with us. After this, the guards left, leaving only one behind. Well, now there's only one left. Let's finish him off, Melissa said. No, I'll take care of him, you continue, Hitoshi said. You sure? Melissa asked. Yes, Hitoshi said, coming out of his hiding place to face the only guard. There are more of you here, the guard said as he takes off his human disguise. But not for long. Said Digimon has the appearance of a green humanoid lizard. He has purple pants, knives in his arms, and a pair of swords which he carries on his back. This Digimon is a Dinohuman. Hitoshi smiles and lifts the cover of his D-terminal. D-terminal, connected. Loboman appears on the screen of the device. Spirit evolution. Hitoshi slides his ring and middle finger on the screen, and then extends his arm to the side, and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, Hitoshi's clothes were stored inside the D terminal. Hitoshi points the D terminal forward, and it projects a screen showing Loboman. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers Hitoshi and transforms him into Loboman. Then on his left shoulder, a different shoulder pad replaces the one he already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared, and instead of Hitoshi there was Loboman. However, Loboman, like the other spirits, was different. Loboman still retains his armor. However, he now has many more purple details than before. His eyes and hair are now purple, resembling Hitoshi's. And finally, his scarf is now red. Hitoshi turns on his swords and blocks an attack from Denyuman's swords. "You want to fight?" Hitoshi said. "Let's fight." Hitoshi pushes Denyuman away from the entrance. This is taken advantage of by Melissa, who sneaks to the entrance. Just then she feels something and jumps to the left, dodging the attack of a Digimon that fell from the ceiling. "You have good reflexes," the Digimon said. "It's a Yaxamon." "Great." In the end, being stealthy was of no use, Melissa said while lifting the cover of her D terminal. D terminal connected. Kazman appears on the screen of the device. Spirit evolution. Melissa slides her ring and middle finger on the screen, and then extends her arm to the side, and is then surrounded by data. Inside the data, Melissa's clothes were stored inside the D terminal. Melissa points the D terminal forward, and it projects a screen showing Kazman. The screen explodes in a blur of data that covers Melissa and transforms her into Kazman. Then on her right shoulder, a different shoulder pad replaces the one she already had. The transformation is complete. The data disappeared, and instead of Melissa there was Kazman. Melissa quickly attacks Yaxamon with a kick, but he covers himself with the shields of his arms. "Let's see if you know how to dance," Yaxamon said, attacking Melissa with his swords, but she dodges them by doing a backflip. "Believe me, I know how to dance," Melissa said, dodging another attack from Yaxamon and counterattacking with a kick to the Digimon's stomach. With Izuku. Izuku continues observing the machine. Then two Digimon enter the place while dragging a third rookie-level Digimon. "What are they doing?" Izuku thought. "Is it safe to do this while we are being attacked?" one of the Digimon asked. "These are the boss's orders," the other one said. "Let's hurry up, and we'll finish sooner." The Digimon place the third one in the machine and tie him with the straps. "Activate the extractor," one Digimon said. Then the machine activates, and the tied Digimon begins to scream in pain. "What are they doing?" Izuku thought with anger. After a few seconds, the bound Digimon explodes into data, and the machine absorbs it, redirecting it towards the sword, which absorbs the data. "All right, bring on the next one," one of the Digimon said, while the second brings another rookie-level Digimon and ties it to the machine. Unable to allow it, Izuku kicks open the vent cover and steps out to face the two Digimon. "I won't allow it," Izuku said while preparing his D terminal. Evolution. Izuku transforms into Agonimon, and with a double punch of fire destroys both Digimon quickly. Without wasting time, Izuku frees the captured Digimon. "Are you okay?" he asked. "Why, yeah, but there are more Digimon trapped here," the Digimon said. "You know where they are?" Izuku asks, and the Digimon nods. "In that case, take me there. I'm going to get all of you out of here." Izuku begins to follow the Digimon. However, he does not realize that a Digimon has arrived at the place. Said Digimon has the appearance of a yellow ape with a bone tied to its back. This Digimon is an Apemon. Apemon watches as Izuku leaves, then turns towards the machine, breaks the glass, and takes the sword, and then follows Izuku. "It's time to test this thing," Apemon said. For many people, Rikishibe is a strange woman, mainly because of her peculiar personality as well as her way of acting. For many, Ri is someone who is stupid and innocent, someone who doesn't quite understand what she does. But for those who take the time to get to know her, they will know that she is an overly intelligent woman, something she hides under her facade as a carefree and innocent woman. At this moment, Ri is drinking tea while looking at a screen. Kishibe, Akemi Sudu said, entering the room where Ri is. We have a problem. Oh, Ri said. And what problem do we have? The chosen ones. They found our experimentation place, Sudu said in a worried tone, but is surprised when noticing that Ri isn't worried. Of course they found it, Ri said. At the end of the day, I was the one who leaked the information to the UA principal. What? Why would you do that? Sudu asked. It's simple silly, Ray said. We need to test our experiment, don't we? You took too much risk by doing that, Sudu said. They could have discovered you. You know very well that I am smarter than I appear, Ri said. I filtered the information anonymously, as if it were a rumor. Still, I think attracting the chosen ones is a bad idea, Sudu said. The experiments are for the purpose of facing them. Why not try it directly, Ri said. Besides, we won't lose anything. Very well, Sudu said. Take a sit, Ri said. Let's see how this ends. The Digital Hero. The Lost Legends Opening. Song. Boruto Opening 8 Baku. From the shadows, a seated woman appears, Ri Kishibe. The place lights up and Kishibe smiles, evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. Nando mo Bokura wa. As a flashback, the 6 chosen ones are seen fighting Lusamen during the First War. Yumnai Miserate. It is seen when the 6 chosen ones throw a large sphere of energy with their powers united at Lusamen. Atsui Iki wo Midashite Kakedasu no. As a flashback, it is now seen when Suzunuman shoots Lusamen Satan mode a beam from his weapon, Orachi. Doko made. In the present day, Izuku, in his new Agunimonk form, is seen charging at someone unseen. Ikruka. The rest of the chosen ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like Izuku, charge against someone unseen. Hate made Midacute. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who when she sees the chosen ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. Adarashii Sora Naitsugu. The 6 chosen ones are seen in a group, Izuku in the middle, on his right Melissa and Shoto, on his left Shinso, Kaminari and Toya. Kakugo wa Roman 2 Desuka. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne, while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Sudu, and behind her, there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. Kokoro Kirao no wa. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. Murai Dake. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic diggy egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets, accompanied by several Digimon. The new normal life. Kanju Urashite Roman 2 Jan. Izuku is in the center of the city. He is relaxed. Ikari wo Ai Naimazite. The breeze moves his hair, and Izuku looks up at the sky with a smile. Zero ka ikai janinda. Like Izuku, Kaminari, Shoto, Shinso, and Melissa are also in the center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. Konten de Bokura wa Ikadaru. They all talk among themselves, while Melissa looks ahead and smiles. Kari nai oberetta sekaide. Toya is leaning against a wall, while memories of when he was Dabai flash through his head. Kimi wa jibun nai toikakuru. Toya clenches his fist, and then looks up with a determined expression. Hantunai. Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the diggy egg is. Tanashie no. Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. Myun ga zawankuyo. The egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes. while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits, and you see Izuku and Kishibe, the first with a frown and the second with an evil smile. Nandomo. Izuku, in his new Aghanim form, charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokuro wa. Shinso, in his new Lobaman form, also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kaoshitaku Naru no. Izuku and Shinsu attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. Mu Kawaida Daichai na Yunwanai. Melissa, in her new Caseman form, and Kaminari, in his new Beetleman form, attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. Kano de Yumidasa. Shoto, in his new Paladroman form, attacks Kishibe, but she easily dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. Mono de Kakit. Toya, in his new Luiman form, attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. Adarashai Sora de Nake. Izuku gets up from the ground and attacks Kishibe with a fire punch, but she easily stops it with her hand. Kakugo wa Roman 2 Desuka. Izuku frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Shota, a blue-haired girl, and Nezu appear in Nezu's office. Interestingly, an Iceman scatter mode is climbing on Aizawa, as if it were a scarf. Kokoro Kurao no wa. A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. Murai Dake. For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Sudu and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of Suzunuman. The digital hero. Lost Legends. Hitoshi continues his fight against Donihuman. He tries to attack him with his knives, but Hitoshi easily defends himself with his swords and blocks all of Donihuman's attacks. Pretty easy. His attacks are very predictable. Hitoshi thought. As expected from a chosen one. You are strong, but I am stronger, Dinoyman said as he takes the giant dagger from his back. Dino Slash. Dinoyman attacks Hitoshi with his giant dagger, but Hitoshi is unfazed and takes his swords and cuts Dinoyman's dagger in half. What the? I'm sorry, but no sword is a match for my light swords, Hitoshi said as he joins his 2 swords into one. There is nothing my swords cannot cut. Hitoshi moves at high speed and with a single slash slices Dinoyman in half. 2 victors. After the attack, Dinoyman explodes into data. Too easy. Elsewhere, Melissa does several backflips while dodging Yaximan's sword slashes. Stay still, Yaximan said. All right, Melissa said, stopping and allowing Yaximan to attack her, but she quickly destroys the wooden sword with a strong kick. That doesn't mean I'll let myself get killed either. You dare, Yaximan said, while attacking Melissa with his other sword. Melissa quickly ducks to avoid the attack, and then counterattacks with a kick from which Yaximan tries to protect himself with his wooden shields in his arms. The kick was so strong that it not only broke Yaximan's wooden shields, but also caused Yaximan to go through a window and fly out of the building. How much strength! Their powers are greater than estimated. Yaximan falls to the ground and watches as Melissa positions herself above him. I'm sorry, but we have work to do, Melissa said as she creates a pair of tornadoes in her hands. Hurricane Wave. Melissa attacks Yaximan and easily destroys him. Are you done? Melissa turns around and looks at Hitoshi sitting at the broken window. Yeah, Melissa said. Good, now let's go help Izuku, Hitoshi said. For his part, Izuku is freeing all the captive Digimon in the area. all of them being rookie level and below. Bastards. Capturing defenseless Digimon. Izuku thought as he finished freeing the Digimon. Hey you. Could you stop? Apeman said, entering the room while holding the familiar sword in his right hand. Go to a safe place. Izuku said to the rescued Digimon, who listened and began to run away. What is all this? Why do you do it? And most importantly, why use defenseless Digimon for this? First, you don't care. Second, you don't care. And third, you don't care, Apeman said while attacking Izuku with the sword. Izuku crouches and easily dodges the attack and quickly attacks Apeman with a punch to the stomach, sending him flying and crashing into the wall. You're wrong about that. I do care. Izuku attacks Apeman with a fire fist. Pyro punch. Apeman manages to move in time and dodge the attack, which creates a crater in the wall upon impact. Die. Apeman attacks Izuku with the sword, but he blocks it with his arm and, thanks to his armor, takes no damage. I didn't hurt him. Apeman did not finish his thoughts as Izuku kicked him, which made him fly and fall to the ground. That sword didn't hurt me, Izuku thought. Maybe it's not finished. This is garbage. Isn't it supposed to be powerful? Apeman said as he sheathes his sword and takes the bone on his back. I'd better stay with the usual ones. Bone strike. Apeman attacks Izuku with a bone, but Izuku dodges it with a backflip. Fire darts. Izuku fires several fire bullets at Apeman. Apeman uses the bone to block the fire bullets and then attacks Izuku again. However, Izuku breaks the bone with a punch. Voltic strike. Izuku hits Apeman with a fiery kick, which knocks him down. This can't be. His powers have increased, Apeman said as he stands up and takes the sword again. Let's try again. Are you seriously going to try that again? Izuku asked when he saw how Apeman tried to attack him with the sword. Izuku easily dodged the attacks, and with a kick pinned Apeman against the wall. That thing was created with the suffering of innocent Digimon. You won't get away with this. Apeman tries to get up, but Izuku doesn't let him as he puts his foot on his chest. Izuku prepares a fire punch. All this was for nothing. This thing is useless. Izuku was about to hit Apeman, but suddenly the sword gives off a light glow and Apeman feels his power increase to gigantic levels. Now we are talking. Izuku attacks Apeman with a fire punch, but is surprised to see that Apeman stops the attack without difficulty. Let the game begin. What the Izuku couldn't react in time when Apeman punched him hard in the stomach, causing him to fly and crash into a wall, crashing through it and falling to the floor of the next room. His strength increased. Izuku quickly jumps back to avoid Apeman's sword attack, but the moment the sword hits the ground it creates an energy wave that sends Izuku flying and destroys a part of the building. Meanwhile, outside the building, Denki and Shoto have finished defeating all the enemies. It was easier than I thought, Denki said. Let's get inside and help the others, Shoto said. Just then the wall explodes and Izuku flies away and falls to his knees on the ground. Izuku, Shoto said. You okay? Yeah, but this guy just got really strong, Izuku said. At that moment Apeman comes out of the hole in the building, while a dark aura surrounds him. This power is amazing, Apeman said. Ice Age. Shoto fires an ice beam and freezes Apeman. However, Apeman breaks away from the ice with ease. That won't be enough to defeat me, Apeman said as he advances towards the trio. Lightning Blitz. Denki fires an electric beam from his horn at Apeman, but he easily deflects it with his sword. Pathetic, Apeman said. Flowery Gust. Lobo Kendo. Suddenly Melissa and Hitoshi attack Apeman from behind. Melissa attacks him with a kick to the neck and Hitoshi with one of her swords. Unfortunately, Apeman is not affected in the slightest by the attacks. Apeman grabs Hitoshi by the arm and Melissa by the leg and slams them against each other. Just then Izuku, Denki and Shoto approach Apeman with their attacks ready. Pyro Punch. Thunder Fist, Ice Claw. The trio attacks him, but Apemon blocks it with his sword, and then sends them flying by pushing them. The chosen ones quickly regroup in front of Apemon. This guy is strong. I didn't know that a champion-level Digimon could be so strong. Hitoshi said. No. It's the sword. I could fight him easily. But suddenly the sword started to glow and Apemon became stronger. Too much, Izuku said. And what is that sword? Melissa asked. There's something familiar about her, but I can't tell what. We'll think about that later. First we must defeat this guy, Izuku said. I highly doubt you can, Apemon said as he begins to gather a large amount of energy into the sword. My name will become legend when the world finds out that it was I who defeated you. Get ready. It's time to level up, Izuku said. It's time to switch to the beast spirit. The chosen ones prepare to change into the beast spirit, but stop when they see that Apemon, who charged at them, stops dead. What is happening to me? Apemon thought as his body begins to corrupt, break and destroy itself. The power is too much. What's going on? Denki asked. I'm not sure, but I think the power was too much for him, Melissa said. I was just thinking the same thing. Even so, don't let your guard down, Izuku said. Damn it, Apemon said before exploding into a wild, aggressive data purge. Once the data disappears, the chosen ones only see how the sword is the only thing left. So, we won? Denki asked. I think so. We were lucky, Hitoshi said. So, what do we do now? Shoto asked. We take evidence, Izuku said as he approaches the sword. Let's hand this over to Kamishiro for investigation. Izuku takes the sword with his right hand, but a few seconds after taking it, it explodes into data. Or maybe not, Izuku said. Then we lost the evidence, Hitoshi said. We lost the sword, but we finished this business, Izuku said. It's still a victory. Hopefully, this will reduce Digimon traffic, Melissa said. I hope so, Izuku said. For now, let's call the digital police to take all these captured Digimon home. Then let's report to Nezu. The chosen ones continue with their work. However, no one notices that a small fragment of data merges with Izuku. Elsewhere, Kishibe and Sudu are watching everything that happened on the screen. Wow, that was interesting, Kishibe said. It seems that the experiment was a failure, Sudu said. On the contrary, it was a complete success, Kishibe said. But Apemon couldn't control the power of the sword, Sudu said. That's where you're wrong. The experiment was not to test if any Digimon could withstand the power of the sword. I already knew that no Digimon there could withstand it. It was a test of power, Kishibe said, while taking out a card from a machine with a symbol of the crest of pride on it. And it was a total success. So, is it time? Sudu asked. Kishibe smiled. Yes, it's time to put the plan into action, Kishibe said. We will soon reach the pinnacle of human evolution. Back with the chosen ones. The digital police have arrived and are taking care of things. Meanwhile, the chosen ones are talking to Nezu through a holographic projection disc, which projects Nezu. Asterisk. So that's what happened, Nezu said. Yes, they were using Digimon to create a sword which can increase the power of its user. Izuku, already back in his human form, said. I tried to take it to give it to Kamishiro so they could analyze it, but it was destroyed as soon as I grabbed it. Asterisk, it doesn't matter. Saving all those Digimon makes me feel calmer, Nezu said. So, what happens now? Hitoshi asked. Asterisk, for now that's all. I will send what I discovered to Yuko-chan so they can investigate it. When I have something, I will let you know, Nezu said. Understood, Izuku said, ending the communication with Nezu. Very well, and you heard him. We are done for today. Let's go to sleep. Without further ado, The chosen ones returned to the bedrooms, where everyone was already asleep, and after showering, they all go to rest as well. Unknown place. Izuku opens his eyes and looks around. He finds himself in a place he has never been before, and he has been in several strange places. The place is dark. Some data flows in the same direction, but the only thing here is a platform on which Izuku is standing. All right, now what happened, he thought. At that moment, a light and data bridge turns on and goes in the same direction as the data is directed. I guess there is no other way to go. Following the path, Izuku sees nothing but the same thing. He continues walking for minutes until he finally reaches another platform on which there is a throne. But what surprises Izuku the most is who is sitting on that throne. You, how come you are here? Izuku said with fear and fury at the same time. How is that you are here, Luciman? Sitting in a black lathe, with a smile on his face, is that enemy who caused so much damage to the human and digital world. The one who actually killed him once. That enemy who was defeated only by uniting the 10 digital spirits. Well, it's been a long time, Izuku Midoriya. Luciman fall down mode said. Izuku looks with anger and some fear at who is sitting on the throne in front of him. He still cannot believe that he is here, after everything he and his friends had to do to defeat him, and he is here. How is that you are here, Luciman? Well, it's been a long time, Izuku Midoriya. Luciman fall down mode said. This is certainly something unexpected. The Digital Hero. The Lost Legends opening 1v2. Song. Boruto opening 8 Baku. From the shadows, a seated woman appears. Kishibe. The place lights up and Kishibe smiles, evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. Nando mo Bokura wa. As a flashback, the 6 chosen ones are seen fighting Luciman during the First War. Yumnai Misererit. It is seen when the 6 chosen ones throw a large sphere of energy with their powers united at Luciman. Atsui iki wo Midashite Kikdasu no. As a flashback, it is now seen when Suzunuman shoots Luciman Satan mode a beam from his weapon, Urachi. Doko made. In the present day, Izuku, in his new Aghanim form, is seen charging at someone unseen. Ikru Ka. The rest of the chosen ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like Izuku, charge against someone unseen. Hate made Midacute. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who when she sees the chosen ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. Adarashai Sora Naitsugu. The 6 chosen ones are seen in a group, Izuku in the middle, on his right Melissa and Shoto, on his left Shinso, Kaminari and Toya. Behind all of them Luciman can be seen with crossed arms. Kakugo wa Ramen tu Desuka. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne, while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Sudu, and behind her, there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. Kokoro Kiro no wa. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. Murai Dake. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic diggy egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets, accompanied by several Digimon. The new normal life. Kanju Urashite Roman Tujan. Izuku is in the center of the city. He is relaxed in the distance. Leaning against a building is Luciman. Ikari wo ai naimazit. The breeze moves his hair, and Izuku looks up at the sky with a smile. Zero ka ikai janenda. Like Izuku, Kaminari, Shoto, Shinso, and Melissa are also in the center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. Kanten de Bokira wa Ikitaru. They all talk among themselves, while Melissa looks ahead and smiles. Kati nai obereta sikaide. Toya is leaning against a wall, while memories of when he was Dabai flash through his head. Kimi wa jibun nai toikaku. Toya clenches his fist, and then looks up with a determined expression. Hantunai. Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the Digi egg is. Tanashi, I know. Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. Myun ga zawankuyo. The egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes, while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits, and you see Izuku and Kishibe, the first with a frown and the second with an evil smile. Nando Mo. Izuku, in his new Aghanim form, charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokura wa. Shinso, in his new Lubelman form, also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kawashitaku Naru no. Izuku and Shinsu attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. Mu Kawaita Daichai Nai Yumwanai. Melissa, in her new Kaisman form, and Kaminari, in his new Beetleman form, attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. Kanot de Yumidasu. Shoto, in his new Paladroman form, attacks Kishibe, but she easily dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. Mono Dake Kakit. Toya, in his new Luiman form, attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. Adarashai Sora Dinake. Izuku gets up from the ground and attacks Kishibe with a fire punch, but she easily stops it with her hand. Kakugo wa Roman tu Desuka. Izuku frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Shota, Alex, and Nezu appear in Nezu's office. Iceman Scatter Mode is climbing on Aizawa, as if it were a scarf, and Luciman can be seen in the background, leaning against the wall. Kokoro Kirao no wa. A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. Murai Dake. For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Sudu and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of Suzunuman. The digital hero. Lost Legends. How are you still alive? We destroyed you, Izuku said. What's more, where the hell are we? Believe me, I am also surprised by these events, Luciman said as he stands up from the throne and stands in front of Izuku. To answer your question, we are here. Luciman points to Izuku's head. We are on your mind. What? How is that possible? What are you planning? Izuku asked. I don't have anything planned. I didn't even know this would happen, Luciman said. Also, if I could do something, like control your body for example, do you really think I would bring you here to chat with you? No. You probably just did, and that's it, Izuku said. Well, you're telling the truth, but I still don't trust you, and I never will. Whether you trust me or not doesn't matter to me, Luciman said. Then answer me. How come you are here? How are you still alive? Izuku asked. You seriously haven't noticed? It's the sword, Luciman said. That sword that Apiman used and that you tried to grab. The sword? What does that sword have to do with you? Izuku asked. You really are dumber than I thought. Luciman said, think for a moment. Doesn't that sword remind you of anyone? Izuku begins to remember. The sword, its design. After looking once more, he realizes that is why the sword is so familiar. That sword looks like you, Izuku said. No, that sword doesn't look like me. That sword is me, Luciman said. Well, that sword is the concentration of my power in an object, to be more exact. But how is that possible? Izuku asked. Isn't it supposed that when a Digimon dies, its data is reset and reused for the birth of a new Digimon? Yes, but being in the human world, a new step is added. First, that data has to return to the digital world, Luciman said. And that step can be used in different ways. For example, when I died fighting the legendary warriors, and thanks to the fact that the connection between our worlds was not as strong as it is now, my data wandered until it joined a human. But that doesn't explain the sword, Izuku said. The human who created the sword took advantage of this step to intercept my data before it could return to the digital world, and with this, and using data from other Digimon to stabilize the power, the human created this sword, also known as the Sword of Pride. Luciman said. Sword of Pride. I guess it's because of your Demon Lord crest. The crest of pride, Izuku said. Exactly. And if I'm correct, the rest of the Demon Lords suffered the same fate, Luciman said. There are still 6 more swords that you haven't come across yet. Are there more swords? Izuku asked. How do you know all this? Because, although I can't do anything while I am that sword, there is still something of my consciousness left. And when I was finally able to form a body inside your mind, I was able to see everything that happened, Luciman said. I still don't know how you are here, Izuku said. When you touch the sword, and it self-destructed to return to its creator, a small fragment of my power, of my data, could join the closest being with digital energy, that is, you, Luciman said. But, if it's just a fragment of you, how come you are in your fallen angel form? Izuku asked. We are in your mind. When you think of me, the first thing that comes to your mind is this form, with which you identify me the most, Luciman said. My current form is thanks to the perception you have of me. I see. Wait, Izuku said. You say you know everything that happened. Then you know who we're facing. You know his plans, don't you? Yes, you are right. I know who is behind all this, and I also know their plans, Luciman said. Then you can tell me what's going on, and we can get this over with, Izuku said. Who do you take me for? An ally. An encyclopedia which you can ask anything to get answers, Luciman said. Don't forget, I'm not your ally, I'm your enemy. Just because I can't do anything against you doesn't mean I'm going to help you. But the talk we had before you died, you said that, Izuku said. I said that you may be the solution to save my world. Yes, but I never said that I agreed with your actions and your ideals, Luciman said. You defeated me, and therefore earned the opportunity to try things your way. But that doesn't mean I will help you. So you prefer the enemy to win? Izuku asked. I am not on anyone's side. Neither yours nor your enemy. I am neutral. I am just another spectator in this, Luciman said. I'm not going to help you, but I won't help that human either. I see. Yes, it makes sense, Izuku said. Still, you said it. We earned the chance to try, didn't we? At least give me something, a clue, a teaspoon of sugar. I already told you. I won't tell you anything, Luciman said. Seriously. Not even to give us an advantage against that person who managed to turn you into a simple throwaway object, Izuku asked. It must be strange. To go from being the one who uses others to being the one used as an object. Luciman grunts, but then laughs. You are good. And you are right. I am the one who uses others as they please. I am not the one they use, Luciman said. Very well, I'll give you something. But after this, don't ask me for anything else. Deal, Izuku said. Luciman turns around and sits back on the throne. The human you are looking for is Kishibe, Luciman said. Kishibe. I think I've heard that name before, Izuku said. That's your problem now, Luciman said. I already gave you your clue, your teaspoon of sugar. Now get out of here. Suddenly Izuku disappears, leaving Luciman alone. Luciman smiles. This will be interesting, Luciman said to himself. Let's see who wins, you or her. Real world. Izuku suddenly wakes up. His breathing is labored and sweat falls from his forehead. What was all that? He thought. Was it all real? Izuku, is everything all right? Melissa, who is sleeping with him, asked him. You feel good? I see you very agitated. Izuku tried to say, but he stared at the corner of his room. There it is. Luciman is leaning against the wall of his room. Melissa raises an eyebrow and looks in the same direction as Izuku. Are you okay? She asked. Why are you looking at the wall? She can't see him, Izuku thought as he watches Luciman's smile grow. Yeah, it's just, I had a bad dream. Oh, Melissa said, and then snuggled with Izuku. Don't worry, I'm here with you. Izuku looks at Luciman one more time. I know, he said. Come on, go back to sleep. Maybe we'll have a little more time to rest. Melissa said, but then the alarm clock goes off. Or maybe not. Well, it's time to get up. Melissa gets out of bed and starts picking up her clothes from the floor. Izuku just watches her. Right, we did that last night. Izuku thought with a small blush on his cheeks, then looks at Luciman who just smiles and gives him a thumbs up. Great. It went from being a tense situation to an embarrassing one. Without further ado, Izuku decides to ignore Luciman, for now, and prepare for classes. Izuku, along with the rest of his classmates and their Digimon partners, heads to their classroom. However, Izuku does his best not to facepalm since Luciman is apparently following him. Why does he have to follow me everywhere, he thought. Because I am linked to your mind, and therefore I can only appear around you, Luciman said. And yes, as you can see, I can hear your thoughts, and no, don't worry, no one else can see or hear me besides you. Great, Izuku thought sarcastically. If you're going to be showing up, at least keep quiet. I have enough seeing you. Izuku, are you sure you're okay? Melissa asked. My head hurts, Izuku said. If you feel bad, I advise you to go to Recovery Girl, Ida said. Don't worry, it's just a minor annoyance. There's no need, Izuku said. Arriving at the classroom, everyone takes their respective seats, waiting for their teacher to arrive. Good morning. I hope you slept well, Aizawa said as he enters the classroom. Good morning, Aizawa-sensei. I hope you slept well too, Ida said. I slept enough. Today you would finish your hero resume. With this, you will be able to find opportunities when it is time to graduate, Aizawa said. So take out your resumes and finish them. Please do it in silence. When you finish, you can take the rest of the class free. But outside, please. He will be watching you so that you do not make noise. Suddenly, from between Aizawa's bandages, a Digimon emerges which has the appearance of a shadow with 2 eyes and a mouth. You heard Shota. I'm in charge now, the Digimon said. Aizawa Shota Ake Eraserhead. Age, 33. Quirk, Erasure. Digimon partner, Iceman Scatter Mode. After everything that happened in both wars, Aizawa is still a teacher at UA. His attitude does not differ much from what it used to be, although he now delegates several of his responsibilities as a teacher to Iceman, mainly those other than teaching something specific. Interestingly, Shota is able to use his quirk through Iceman's eyes. Thanks to this, he can keep his quirk active indefinitely, thanks to the fact that Iceman does not need to blink, as well as use his quirk in 2 different directions, using his eyes and those of Iceman. All right, everyone heard Shota. Get to work, Iceman said. Everyone begins to do as indicated, while Aizawa enters his sleeping bag while leaving Iceman to watch over the students. In another part of Japan, Kishibe and Sudu are analyzing the card with the symbol of pride. Just as we thought, it lost some of its power, Sudu said. That's not good, Kishibe said. What do you think could have happened? Maybe some of the power remained in Apeman, and when he died it went with him, Sudu said. But it's nothing to worry about. We can still continue with the plan without problems. The amount of power lost is insignificant and will not affect anything. How much was the amount of power lost? Kishibe asked. Between 5 and 7%, Sudu said. When it comes to Luciman's power and the crest of pride, it's nothing. Very well. Then let's continue with what we planned, Kishibe said. But stay tuned in case we manage to find the lost percentage. Yes, ma'am. Everything is ready for the operation, Sudu said. Kishibe smiles. I can't wait, Kishibe said. I'm counting on you so that nothing bad happens, Sudu. The chances of the procedure being successful are greater than 90%. Nothing bad will happen, Sudu said. Excellent, Kishibe said, and then looked at two people in the room. Both people are in the shadows of the room, and their features cannot be distinguished. Meanwhile, you two already know what to do. Yes, Lady Kishibe, a female voice said. We will do what is indicated. A male voice said. Nezu's office. After classes, the chosen ones meet in Nezu's office to discuss what happened. I sent everything gathered to Yuyuko-chan. Kamishiro is already investigating things, Nezu said. So, we have nothing else to do but wait, Hitoshi said. The information we gathered was ambiguous. When the team assigned to gather information arrived, the database had been deleted. We were only able to rescue fragments of information. Nezu said. What if I told you that I have new information? Izuku asked. I would appreciate it. But how do you have information? Nezu asked. I have the name of who is behind all this, Izuku said. Does the name Kishibe sound familiar to you? Kishibe, Melissa said. Wait, isn't she? Yes, the woman we met that day, Shoto said. You know her? Izuku asked. You do not remember. She's the woman who took us to Kamishiro when we faced Barbaman, Denki said. I see. Specifically the mission to the digital world in which I did not participate, Izuku said. Right, sorry, Denki said. I already knew that this woman was up to something. I had a bad feeling about her from the day we met her, Hitoshi said. Still, this leaves me with a question. How do you know this, Izuku? Nezu asked. Someone told me, Izuku said. And who is this someone? Nezu asked. Izuku looks towards the back wall of the room. Luciman is there, leaning against the wall, with a smile on his face, the same smile that brings him bad memories. That's someone. It's Luciman, he said. Toya, after several months away working, has finally returned home. I'm so tired it hurts to even think, Toya thought as she opens the door to his house. I'm back. Toya Todoroki Aka Night Lion. Age, 26. Quirk, Blue Flame formerly. Digimon partner, none. He possesses the digital spirits of darkness. Professional hero working with Endeavor's agency. Welcome back, Toya. His mother, Rei, welcomes him. I'm glad to have you back. How long has it been? Several months. Things got complicated. But at least we're done, Toya said. Fayumi and Natsuo are here. Yes, please come in. They will be happy to see you, Rei said. You arrived just in time for the food. It's already ready. Perfect. I'm so hungry, Toya said. The food on the missions is terrible. Yours is 1,000 times better. Without wasting time, Toya enters her house. Opening 1v2. Song. Boruto opening 8 Baku. From the shadows, a seated woman appears, Kishibe. The place lights up and Kishibe smiles, evilly as his eyes begin to glow blue. Nando Mobo Kirawa. As a flashback, the 6 chosen ones are seen fighting Luciman during the First War. Yumnai Miserurit. It is seen when the 6 chosen ones throw a large sphere of energy with their powers united at Luciman. Atsui Iki wo Midashite Cake Dasu no. As a flashback, It is now seen when Suzunuman shoots Luciman Satan mode a beam from his weapon, Orochi. Doko made. In the present day, Izuku, in his new Aganiman form, is seen charging at someone unseen. Ikruka. The rest of the chosen ones, in their new forms of their respective human spirits, like Izuku, charge against someone unseen. Hate made Midacute. That someone turns out to be Kishibe, who when she sees the chosen ones, her appearance glistens a little while she smiles evilly and her eyes shine blue. Adarashii Sora Naitsugu. The 6 chosen ones are seen in a group, Izuku in the middle, on his right Melissa and Shoto, on his left Shinso, Kaminari and Toya. Behind all of them Luciman can be seen with crossed arms. Kakugo wa Roman 2 Desuka. Now Kishibe is seen sitting on a throne, while she has a sword resting on the left of her throne. To her right is Sudu, and behind her, there are 6 figures in the shadows, each one with a sword. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Kishibe slowly rises from the throne. Kokoro Kirao no wa. Kishibe walks through a dark hallway. Murai Dake. When Kishibe stops, the background behind her lights up, revealing a gigantic diggy egg inside a glass tube. Then you see several scenes of people walking in the streets, accompanied by several Digimon. The new normal life. Kanju Urashite Roman Tujan. Izuku is in the center of the city. He is relaxed. In the distance, leaning against a building, is Luciman. Ikari wo ai Naimazit. The breeze moves his hair, and Izuku looks up at the sky with a smile. Zero ka ikai janonda. Like Izuku, Kaminari, Shoto, Shinso, and Melissa are also in the center of the city, all enjoying the quiet day. Konten de Bokuro wa Ikateru. They all talk among themselves while Melissa looks ahead and smiles. Kari nai obereta sekaide. Toya is leaning against a wall while memories of when he was Dabai flash through his head. Kimi wa jibun nai toikaku. Toya clenches his fist and then looks up with a determined expression. Hantu nai. Kishibe approaches the glass tube where the diggy egg is. Tanashi no. Kishibe touches the crystal with her right hand. Mun ga zawemkuyo. The egg begins to break. Upon seeing this, Kishibe smiles. The egg begins to glow and everything explodes, while a glow covers the entire room. The screen splits, and you see Izuku and Kishibe, the first with a frown and the second with an evil smile. Nando Mo. Izuku, in his new Aguniman form, charges at Kishibe with a punch. Bokura wa. Shinso, in his new Labaman form, also charges at Kishibe with his swords. Kaoshitaku Naru no. Izuku and Shinsu attack Kishibe, but she easily dodges the attacks and sends them flying with a kick each one. Mu Kawaita Deichai Nai Yumwanai. Melissa, in her new Caseman form, and Kaminari, in his new Beetleman form, attack Kishibe. Melissa with a gust of wind from her hands and Kaminari with an electric beam from his horn. However, Kishibe easily deflects the attacks with her hands, which explode behind her. Kano de Yumidasu. Shoto, in his new Paladroman form, attacks Kishibe, but she easily dodges him and sends him flying with one blow. Mono Dake Kakit. Toya, in his new Luiman form, attacks Kishibe with his spear, but she dodges it and then grabs him by the neck and throws him away. Adarashii Sora Dinake. Izuku gets up from the ground and attacks Kishibe with a fire punch, but she easily stops it with her hand. Kakugo wa Roman 2 Desuka. Izuku frowns as he tries to push his attack. Kishibe, for her part, just smiles evilly. Yoke wa Kor Kara. Shota, Alex, and Nezu appear in Nezu's office. Iceman Scatter Mode is climbing on Aizawa, as if it were a scarf, and Luciman can be seen in the background leaning against the wall. Kokoro Kirao no wa. A woman appears in a room dressed in red, with white hair, sunglasses, and a hat. Alongside her is a stooped man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes, in addition to having a cane to lean on. Murai Dake. For a few seconds, a creature with 7 eyes and 7 legs appears. Kishibe appears with Sudu and the 6 shadow figures. The 6 chosen ones appear, and behind them a spirit in the form of Suzunuman, the digital hero. Lost Legends. Yuahai. I think I heard wrong. You clearly didn't say Lusaman, right? Hitoshi asked. You heard right, Izuku said. But that doesn't make sense. We destroyed Lusaman, didn't we? Shoto asked. I hate every time someone says that. Lusaman commented. Yes, we defeated him. But apparently he just didn't stay dead. Izuku said. Well, more or less. I don't understand. Denki said. Could you explain it, please? Melissa said. When we defeated Lusaman, someone took his data before he returned to the digital world. Izuku said. Do you remember the sword we found last night? The one that exploded when you took it? Hitoshi asked. Well, that sword is Lusaman, Izuku said. What? Melissa thought for a moment. Now that you mention it, taking into account the appearance of the sword, it looks like Lusaman. Now that you say it, it makes sense, Shoto said. Interesting. So someone created that sword using Lusaman's powers. But that doesn't explain why he told you this, Nezu said. When I touched the sword and it exploded, the data returned to its creator. But a small fragment of that data merged with the first thing it came into contact with. Me, Izuku said. Are you saying that you have a small fragment of Lusaman inside you? Hitoshi asked. Yes, and it took shape using my memories of him, Izuku said. And now I can see Lusaman everywhere. In fact, he is right behind Principal Nezu. Everyone turns to look at where Izuku said, but they don't see anything. There's nothing there, Denki said. It's because only I can see and hear him, Izuku said. I guess it's because only you have a fragment of his power within you, Melissa said. Wait, aren't you worried that he might do something? Of course I am. But in his own words, he can't, Izuku said. At least not now. If he could, he would have done it already. Yes, I guess it's true, Hitoshi asked. Still, how do you know that the name he gave you is real and not a trap? Shoto asked. I thought the same thing, but he is proud, and I don't think he likes being used as a simple object by other people, Izuku said. That is why, out of his own arrogance, he is telling the truth. And he didn't tell you anything else? Nezu asked. He is not on anyone's side. In fact, it was difficult for me to get this bit of information from him. He said that because I defeated him, he gave it to me. I highly doubt he will tell us anything more. You assume right, I won't, Lusaman said. Izuku sighs. It hasn't even been a day, and he's already tired of this guy. Yeah, he won't, he said. You okay? Melissa asked. Yes. It's just that the idiot keeps talking all the time, and it makes me desperate, Izuku said. But don't worry. Unless he has something interesting to say, I usually ignore him. So, if you think the information obtained is reliable, we should do something about Kishibe, Nezu said. If I'm not mistaken, she used to work at Kamishiro before she disappeared, Hitoshi said. Maybe they can tell us something. Good idea. I'll contact Yuyuko-chan and inform her that we need an emergency meeting, Nezu said. Still, I ask you to keep the matter of Lusaman in the shadows. We don't know who may be listening. Understood, Izuku said. Very well, that's all. I will inform you when I have the date and time of the meeting with Yuyuko-chan, Nezu said. All right, we'll be ready when it's time, Izuku said. With nothing more to do, the chosen ones leave Nezu's office. Are you seriously following orders from a Bakuman? Lusaman asked. This is very stupid. You should be the one in charge of all this. Shut up, Izuku said to Lusaman. A few days later, the chosen ones arrive at the Kamishiro company. We have arrived, Kamishiro Company, Izuku said while parking his motorcycle. It's been a while since we came here. Since our second year at UA we haven't come, Melissa said. No time to lose, Hitoshi said, getting out of the car that he parked next to Izuku's motorcycle. All right, let's do it, Denki said. Okay, let's go, Izuku said, starting to walk in the direction of Kamishiro's main building. The rest of the chosen ones followed him. So this is Kamishiro. Looks interesting, Lusaman said. Once inside, being the chosen ones, they have permission to enter without anyone accompanying them. They begin to head to Yuyuko's office. But halfway they cross paths with someone they know. So you finally let yourself be seen, a blue-haired girl said to them. Alex, it's good to see you again, Izuku said, giving the girl, now identified as Alex, a handshake. Alex is a girl with dark blue hair that reaches her hips and is mostly tied up in a braid. He has bright aquamarine blue eyes. She usually wears a short royal blue dress, blue skinny jeans, light blue penny loafers, and a white crop jacket, although now she is wearing a black military-style suit. Alex Faith. Age, 19. Quirk, mermaid. Digimon partner, none. Alex Faith is originally from the United States, but moved to Japan with her parents at a very early age. Alex graduated from UA, belonging to the same class as the Big Three, where she decided to join Kamishiro in its investigations into the digital world. Izuku and the others met her during their second year at UA, during a visit to Kamishiro. Same thing. It's been a while since we saw each other, Alex said, and then looks at Shoto. Shoto, tell me, how's Toya? He's fine, I think, Shoto said. He just returned from a mission a few days ago. Alex smiles. So what are you doing here? She asked. We have a meeting with Yuyuko-san, Izuku said. I see. In this case, let me accompany you, Alex said. Izuku nods, and everyone heads towards Yuyuko's office. Your suit is different from the one you usually wear, Melissa said. Yes, I'm not wearing my hero suit because this suit is for the incursions, Alex said. Incursions? What was that? Denki asked. It's obvious that you don't remember it. When they came it was just a project. Now it's a reality, Alex said. Incursions, as their name says, are incursions into the digital world where, with the necessary permission, we can carry out tests and analyses about the digital world in order to understand it better. Yes, I heard something about that. I'm glad it finally happened, Hitoshi said. After graduating from UA, I decided to join the Digital World Incursion team, Alex said. Although this is the first time I'm going on an incursion. At that, the group finally arrives at Yuyuko's office. We have arrived, Alex said as she opens the door. Yuyuko, you have visitors. The chosen ones are here. Oh, Alex, Yuyuko said. Thanks for bringing them. Although I think you should be somewhere else. The incursion is about to begin. Right, Alex said, and then looked at the chosen ones. Well, I guess we part ways here. Good luck with whatever you have to do. Thanks, same thing, good luck, Izuku said. Alex nods, and then puts on a helmet and runs away. The chosen ones enter Yuyuko's office, but are surprised to see that she is not alone. There are two more people with her. The first one is a woman dressed in a red sleeveless dress, a short red cape with a cowl, long purple gloves with a dark webbing pattern around the elbows, and a golden spider-like design on the back of the hands, a purple belt, and odd purple boots with gray soles. She also wears a tall striped red and purple sun hat with a red rim, including a webbing pattern, which is adorned with a golden spider-shaped brooch with a pink gem in the middle, and large dark purple shades with golden rims which conceal its eyes. The other one is a man dressed in a royal blue coat and an odd hat with randomly scattered golden buttons, a gray belt, blue pants, dark brown gloves, and black shoes. He also wields a cane. And My respects to those who managed to guess who these characters are. Izuku-kun, Hitoshi-kun, Shoto-kun, Melissa-chan, Denki-kun. It's good to see you again, Yuyuko said. We say the same, Yuyuko-san, Izuku said, and then addressed the other two people. I don't think I know you. My apologies, my name is Erican. The woman, now identified as Erican, said. And he is my partner, Mon. Hi. The man, now identified as Mon, said. We are private detectives working on the Digimon trafficking case, Erican said. We suspect that a former Kamishiro employee may be involved in this. Well, we are in the same boat. We are following the same clue, Shoto said. Is that so? Erican said before smiling. Well, look how good. That will help us a lot in advancing the investigation. So let's get to work, Yuyuko said. Kishibe. I never liked that woman. I already had a bad feeling since we met her for the first time. Hitoshi said. I never liked her. But her help was essential to be able to develop the journey into the digital world with Trailman, Yuyuko said. I find that hard to believe, Melissa said. Yes, at first glance, she seems like someone stupid. But in reality, she is someone very smart, Yuyuko said. Do you have something to tell us about her? Izuku asked. Yes. She graduated from university with honors. We don't know what her first job after graduating was. But as you know, we hired her for her contributions to the journey to the digital world. For some reason, she already had theories about a world parallel to ours, Yuyuko said. Did she already know about the digital world? Denki asked. I doubt it. She only had theories about a world parallel to ours. These theories are what made us hire her. It was there where we discovered the digital world, Yuyuko said. But since she disappeared, we lost all trace of her. We think she may have someone helping her, Erican said. A man named Akemi Sudu. Sudu? That name sounds familiar to me. But I don't have anything about it in Kamishiro's database or any company associated with ours, Yuyuko said. Yes, he was a subcontractor who helped us in a specific phase of the journey to the digital world, the opening of the portals. So there are two people involved in this, Hitoshi said. The question is, what are their plans? Erican wondered. They are using the Digimon they get on the black market to create swords, Izuku said. We came across one and realized that the sword is based on the power of Lusamon. Lusamon, that can't be good, Erican said. Indeed, he almost destroyed our world. That they were able to create a sword with his power is a threat, Yuyuko said. Didn't you manage to recover the sword? I would like to analyze it. No, the sword self-destructed as soon as Izuku touched it, Melissa said. Probably some type of security system to prevent theft. I see, Yuyuko said. We have the possible location of Kishibe's operations base, Erican said. We intercepted some transfers of laundered money to some sellers and managed to decipher the location of the sender. So we have a location, Denki said. Correct, Izuku said. If luck smiles on us, we will probably have to face Kishibe and that Sudu guy, Yuyuko-san. Could you explain to us about their quirks? I can't say anything about Sudu. It was a subcontracting. We have no record of him as an employee, Yuyuko said. But Kishibe, she's quirkless. You shouldn't have any problems with her. Although if she's the one behind this, she'll have some kind of bodyguard or something. Quirkless. Wow, that's interesting, Izuku said. Yeah, Melissa said. Stop crying and take action. This is boring me, Lusamon said. Anyway, I think we already have a destination, Izuku said. I agree, Hitoshi said. Shoto, contact Nezu and have him give Toya the location. We're going to need him there, Izuku said. On it, Shoto said. We will go with you, Erican said. Are you sure? It could be dangerous, Denki said. We can defend ourselves. Besides, we are also involved in this case, Mon said. We know how to fight and our quirks are useful in combat. You don't have to worry, Hurricane said. In that case, come on, it's time to put an end to all this, Izuku said. Yes. Everyone leaves the room. However, Luciman only observes the new allies, Harukin and Mon. Well, this is going to be very interesting, he said. What do you mean? Izuku asked him. Nothing that matters to you. I'm just saying that this will be very interesting. I really want to see how this all ends, Luciman said. Whatever, Izuku said, and then left the office.